Hi guys! So again, another kind of different type of video from Jen Maher. I just got a question asked by one of my clients about images and resizing them, and so I am actually in my car and just decided to pull over into a parking lot and create a quick little video to help this client, but then maybe help some other people as well. So in terms of images, sometimes when you put an image in to your Squarespace website, it will take up the entire space. So I always kind of tell my clients, think of Squarespace. In my mind, I always kind of think of it as like Tetris. So in Tetris, the goal is to have your entire, rectangular space connected with blocks. So every block is like taking up a space, right? That's kind of how a Squarespace website is. So we need to fill up the site with different blocks. So one block, this is my image block, it's going to fill up the entire website space here. If I don't want it to fill up the entire website space and I want it to be smaller, then I have to insert other blocks around it to kind of force it to fit. So you can insert another image, right next to it. You're basically just going to come up here to blocks and choose which block you want to help force this to be smaller. So I could choose to do other images next to it, or in this case, I'm going to choose to put spacers on either side of it because I just want the image by itself. So I am simply going to add a block and add a spacer, and I'm going to add another spacer because I want them to be sandwiched on either side of it. So my spacers are automatically here at the bottom. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So when you're moving any block within Squarespace, when you pick it up and move it, the black line that you see, that's going to tell you where it's moving it to. So if I move it up here on the side, I want you to notice the difference between the line there and the line here if I move it. Oops, there and, uh-oh, I completely lost it. Just give me a second. Okay, there we go. So it basically, when I moved that spacer, it basically took up the entire space. So it forced everything over. I'm gonna put it up to the top here, so we can kind of start over again. So here it is now, the spacer's taking up the entire top space. If I don't want to force this block and the block beneath it over, then I only want it to connect to the picture itself. I have to make sure that black line is just on the picture. So it sounds confusing, but basically I'm just gonna pull that line right here until it's very hard to do this with one hand, by the way. So now it has moved just the picture on one side, and then I still have the spacer taking up the whole space at the bottom. So now I can pick this guy up and connect him on the other side, and now my picture is resized. If I want to resize it further, let's say that I don't like that it's a big square, or I can resize it further by pulling it on the sides of the spacers as well, but I can also crop my image. So I can just come in to image editor. I can choose to click the crop button here, and I can choose a pre-made crop, or I can do a custom crop where I can actually drag it in as much as I want to, get it just like I'd like, hit save, and it will resize, making it even smaller, taking up even less space on my page. So hopefully that helps my client and also anyone else that might run into this issue. Thank you and have a really great day, guys.